If you think you're a fan of Marvel, how many of these 50 facts do you actually know? From a second Infinity Gauntlet to a government-funded study into Thanos, here are 50 facts I bet you didn't know about Marvel. Have you got a comic book collection? While some of them might be worth quite a bit of money, Amazing Fantasy number 15, which featured Spider-Man, sold for a whopping $3.5 million in 2021. Iron Man, with his $12.4 billion net worth, could buy it 3,000 times and still have some change. Did you know that Marvel weren't the ones to create Venom? He was originally a fan creation made by Randy Schueller for a fan contest organized by Marvel. It's a shame he only got $220 for it, though. However, the creation of Captain America was a bit more questionable. During World War II, he was made as a propaganda piece for the United States Army. Did you ever think just how many comics Marvel has released? It's estimated they've published over 35,000, including more than 70,000 characters. Can you figure out whose mask was inspired by Doctor Doom and elements of samurai armor? It was Darth Vader. Talking about inspiration, did you know where Stan Lee got his idea for Galactus and the Silver Surfer? God inspired Galactus, and Satan inspired the Silver Surfer. If you thought that was strange, you wouldn't believe what Michael Jackson tried to do. He wanted to be Spider-Man, so he tried to buy Marvel. Speaking about the wall crawler, were you surprised when Tom Holland got the role for Spider-Man? So was he. Apparently, he only found out when he saw the Instagram post announcing it. But who else was being considered before he got the role? Jake Gyllenhaal, who played Mysterio, was actually in the running to play Spider-Man. Imagine him as an older Peter Parker. Did you know that the cafeteria scene in the 2002 Spider-Man film wasn't actually CGI? Tobey Maguire took 156 takes to get it right. Here's something you probably didn't know. The language the Wakandans speak is actually real. It's a variety of Xhosa, which is mainly spoken in Zimbabwe and South Africa. If you thought that was cool, how about this one? In 1984, Marvel almost bought out the rival DC, but the deal fell through because of a lawsuit claiming Marvel was monopolizing the comic book industry. Imagine a world with Superman fighting alongside Captain America. Who do you think would win a race between Quicksilver and the Flash? Well, since there was a Marvel and DC crossover where Quicksilver challenged the Flash to a race, we know the answer. The Flash wins. Speaking about crossing over, ever wondered where the idea of Deadpool came from? He's based off of Deathstroke. Even his name refers to Slade Wilson. We all remember the late, great Stan Lee, who made the characters we all love. He made a total of 37 cameos across all Marvel films and shows. Stan got paid a lot for each one. Endgame was the first film to earn $1 billion during its opening weekend. Did you know the MCU has its own secret police? This security detail is responsible for preventing leaks. They actually leave false information for leakers so that when it does come out, they know who's to blame. Marvel Studios even has a super secret room called the Black Widow Room. It has no windows and maximum privacy, where screenwriters can get their work done. Too bad they didn't manage to stop Tom Holland from leaking MCU plot points 7 times. Here's something you may have overlooked. In the MCU films, there are actually 2 Infinity Gauntlets. Thanos had one, and the other sat in Odin's vault on Asgard. Did you know the Hulk was originally gray, but due to printing errors, he was changed to green instead? One hero that featured in the She-Hulk show was none other than Daredevil. But do you remember the terrible Daredevil film? Well, Fox actually wanted to make it a trilogy of films. Thankfully, the Elektra film flopped and put a stop to it. Marvel probably doesn't want you to know this, but Stan Lee, the father of Marvel, had a dark side. He hated sidekicks so much he would write them off in gruesome ways. Is he the comics' George R.R. Martin? Have you ever looked at a superhero and thought their powers might be lame? Well, I bet they weren't as useless as this next one. Ice cream. He can turn himself into any flavor of ice cream he wants. And finally, did you know there's a Japanese Spider-Man, otherwise known as Takuya Yamashiro? He got his powers from aliens, apparently. Totally different from our usual friendly neighborhood webhead. Do you think we'll see him in the new Spider-Verse film? Well, there we have it. 50 facts that I bet you didn't know but now actually know about Marvel.